Furiosa! We've come too far.
So Hollywood is in a bad state, which we all knew, but it's gotten so bad to the point where even decent movies like Furiosa, a Mad Max saga that apparently barely has Mad Max in it, or doesn't need him apparently, outright flop. Besides the ticket prices and people being sick of the lack of quality in recent movies, we've got idiots like the one who left this comment blaming moviegoers and slinging their primate fecal matter at them. This person claims in response to a Variety article titled "Box Office Furiosa Off to a Slow Start with 10.2 million opening day. Garfield dines on 8.4 million," that I think it's time to accept that a large part of the movie-going public sucks shit. Really?
You must be some kind of a dumbass.
It's the audience's fault, Mr. Pinkbeard. Maybe if Hollywood bothered to whip up some decent plots instead of flinging garbage at the audience, or churning out lackluster flicks that they expect us to swallow without gagging and leaving any criticism whatsoever, people would be more motivated to actually go to the movies. People wouldn't feel so preached to or vilified. And we got the prices of tickets and everything for that matter climbing up faster than a monkey on caffeine, which directly correlates for how little people are spending and what they're spending their money on. But okay, blaming the audience. That's your go-to when a movie flops. I know I seem flabbergasted, but I honestly don't get people. I don't get blaming the audience. Blaming the audience is like a chef blaming the customers for not liking his burnt food. I mean, it can't be something wrong with the cooking or the food. It just has to be something wrong with everyone else's taste buds. Yeah, us. See, situations like this make me lose all respect for people like this. You don't even really know the reason why most people chose not to see these movies. Are you going to give them your hard-earned money and give them tickets to go and support movies at your movie theater? You want them to go to the movies? You're gonna fund that little venture? No? Then shut the fuck up. Imagine thinking that this is actually going to make people want to go and see the movies. It's a classic case of gaslighting and making people feel like they're the problem for not being satisfied with mediocrity. It's very manipulative and downright disrespectful. And honestly, I'm not even being extreme when I say this kind of perspective to me just screams abuse. Imagine you're putting in so little effort into a relationship and you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and when your partner calls you out, yeah, you might change for a few, or give the bare minimum, that is. And then when your partner finally leaves you because they've had enough, you kick them to the ground and tell them that they ain't shit and that they're the abusers because they're leaving you because of your bad behavior. I mean, Jesus Christ, mental illness in its purest form. People have a right to not see a movie. I mean, it's one thing when people try to blame others for giving their honest criticism of a movie that they didn't like and that they spent their money on, which they fully have the right to do, but then you're vilifying people who chose not to see it? What in the actual hell is the matter with you? Do primates like this actually have a functioning brain? I don't even have to ask that question because I already know the answer. It's so freaking sad that it's pathetic. Now, I might have a few theories as to why Mad Max Furiosa didn't do well. And one of my guesses is that they market it in such a way that the lead character isn't Mad Max. Now, I recently watched Fury Road and I absolutely loved it. I was a little confused why it was called Mad Max because he seemed to have been sort of a secondary character. Fury Road would have been a better name for it, but it's called Mad Max Fury Road, not Fury Road Mad Max. But anyway, I love Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy working together, and both of them were excellent characters. Honestly, the whole thing was amazing. I like how despite all the different personalities and strengths, our main characters were able to work together and all of them exhibited strength in their own way. The females didn't put down the male characters redeemed themselves and showed strength. Everyone felt like they were a character of their own. And the good guys had to fight their asses off from the bad guys. And you understand through one of the characters where the bad guys are kind of coming from. They were all badasses, beautiful. And it was a touching movie, and it definitely has a lot of rewatchability in my opinion. One of the best movies I've seen in a while. And bear in mind, I didn't watch any of the previous Mad Max movies. So for me, Fury Road was the initiation. I really do think it was also a cinematic success. But knowing the character Furiosa, who I came away really loving, I love her in Mad Max, and then seeing that the Furiosa movie is a prequel to this, honestly, not trying to be disrespectful, I don't see what the point is of the Anya Taylor-Joy Furiosa movie. In this movie, we see the end result anyway. So what was the point? What's the point of this? And what's the point of Mad Max being in the Furiosa movie? I don't know, but what I can tell you is it did not appeal to me. And the only thing that drew me to to it in the slightest was the fact that Anya Taylor-Joy is the main character. I really like that actress, but if this is a prequel and it's focusing just on Furiosa, why would I spend my money watching that? I was really expecting, we'd see what would happen after the Fury Road movie, because that would have been more interesting to me. I do like the world, and I want to get more lore for the world, but if they're just telling me a story that is essentially an in-between of what happened before the events of the last movie, I already saw the end result of this character, so why in the hollow, piss-filled pancakes would I care enough to watch what happened before and spend money to see that? Even if they do give us something afterwards, that's not how they're marketing the movie. I mean, there's so many other characters and so many other stories and directions you could take this, but you're choosing to do a freaking prequel? A prequel for a character that's not even Mad Max, which the franchise is named after. Nah. I'm not saying that's why other people chose not to see it, but why would we? Yeah, the movie does look badass, and people close to me say it's amazing. I've seen clips here and there of it, and it does look amazing, and it seems to fall in line with the Fury Road Mad Max movie. But I don't have any motivation, so I guess I suck shit, right? The only way I could see me being motivated to watch this movie is if I'd not watched the Fury Road movie first. Like if I watched this first, the prequel, and then watch Fury Road, then I'd be like, all right, I can kind of get that. Something doesn't appeal to me enough for me to want to spend money on it, and I'm choosing to keep my hard-earned money that I don't have a lot of, and I'm trying to use to help my family and myself get out of our financial straits and survive, and because of that, I suck shit because I didn't go watch a fucking movie, my guy. You're gonna tell the majority of the American audience that they suck because they refuse to spend their money on something they don't want to spend their money on because it doesn't appeal to them? You violently pathetic cat toucher. If y'all are really that upset at the audience for not spending their money, feel free to give them your money. You don't want to spend your time to go watch the movie, or you want to keep watching it over and over again, or get the movie to get the support that you think it needs. How about you go to your local neighborhood, find the people who are struggling financially, and give them some free tickets. Pay for a few of those tickets and support the movie. Get all your friends together and support the movie. Use your pink beard and put on a freaking billboard or something and draw all your people out towards financially supporting this movie since you love it so much and believe in it. I could get down with that, but don't try to strong arm and guilt everybody else into spending money on something that they obviously don't want to watch or spend their money on. I'm still so shocked. I don't think I'll ever stop being shocked that we're in a day and age where we're supposed to be super progressive, that we are somehow trying to scold people and drive our pitchforks through the backs of people who are choosing not to spend their money on something. What about the single mothers out there that they literally can't afford it? They have to choose what they're going to bring their children to, and maybe that's not it. Maybe they can't even afford to bring their children to a freaking movie theater. Maybe their children didn't have a good time the last time, or they just don't have a good time, or she can't manage them all by herself, or she can't pay for a babysitter if she wants to go out with her friends or with her lover or whatever. Maybe they would rather sit home and stream something with their kids because money is tight, dumbass. I don't even care. I'm sick and tired of these roaches. For real, we have taxes, school tuition, and all this, and then medical freaking insurance, car insurance, all that shit is jacked up. Food is so motherfucking expensive. Even in a place where I live, where it's super cheap to live, food is fucking expensive. And then we have people like this on top of everything. And what if, because money is tight, people are choosing to invest their money into things that are more important than a goddamn movie theater, like the environment and the homeless citizens of America, or their families that are also struggling financially? If there's an uptick in unemployment, what if there's more of an uptick in people trying to help others or just saving their money because they only have their unemployment to help them get through until they can find something else? Living expenses, like telling me you're entitled without saying you're entitled. Do you know what the housing market is like right now? Do you know what rent costs? People can't even afford to have children that want children. And there are people that actually want children that are opting out of having them because they literally can't even afford to take care of themselves. Yes, some of that is mismanagement. I do understand that, but inflation is a big factor, and you have people struggling out here to freaking feed themselves, and you're gonna try and vilify them because they didn't watch a goddamn movie? You fucking mook. Some people need a very high dose of angel epiphany because damn. The other thing you gotta consider is that movies come out on streaming much faster than they used to, so why would you go and waste money watching a movie and paying for the ticket while you already are paying so much money for all the other different types of streaming services that you have, when you could just wait a month or two and watch the movie at home where you're more comfortable? So instead of paying for the price of a ticket, you could just watch it with everything else that you're already paying for with one subscription instead of paying for a subscription, and then separate for a movie, just wait for it to come on the platform that you're already subscribed to. That makes more sense. Also, people are tired of the same rinse and repeat type movies. You know, people are tired of movies being churned out in such a way that they feel manufactured as hell. They no longer have any soul. While I do believe that some still do, there's a lot that don't. The only thing I'm super eager to watch in theaters to support the movie or the franchise is A Quiet Place. I wanted to watch Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but you know what? I thought to myself, man, we have a lot of things that we had to take care of and financial responsibilities that got cropped up, so we had to either decide to spend this extra money that could go towards something else we really need rather than seeing a movie, unless the movie is something we really, really want to see. So yeah, for my birthday, I do want to see A Quiet Place because I love monsters, and that's the only thing I would go to the theaters for. Even Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I'm totally fine watching it in the comfort of my home. I really did want to see it in theaters, but stuff happened, life happened, and I had to choose priorities. People have many different reasons why they're choosing very carefully where they spend their money, especially because they have less of it. Like, bruh, I know this is something that people who are either too entitled or really bad with money would never understand, but it is totally giving.
If you're homeless, just buy a house.